never. People were like screaming, you dance this great like this? One is dominant, one is recessive, and then the other two depends on when the environment. Sanguine. Even though I have that in me, I'm more of melancholic. I'm more Sam. The melancholic in me is dominant. Why the sanguine in me is recessive.
I like the way you took the temperament from the sanguine to the phlegmatic. You took it like from the most liveliest person to like the most introverted human.
Right.
And you mentioned that we have 2 dominant and 2 recessive. Does that mean every human being walking around has those 4 temperaments in them? Or
yes.
Is it that? So every time you see someone, it's like there's a possibility of every human being having the 4 temperaments, or is it that some people have 1, some people have 2, and then
every human being has these 4 temperaments.
Okay.
But just one is dominant.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put it. Everybody has the 4 temperament. Let's say that they're 100% in a human being, right? Most times you only see one which is dominant, which can be like 60 or 70 or 80%. So, but once you see the one that is dominant, however, you still have the one that is recessive. So, on the rational point, you will see the normal human being has 2 temperaments. One is dominant and one recessive. But just as in our contemporary world right now, all we see is just one.
Which is
like the one many people see more about you.
Okay.
Right? Like me now, a lot of people see me that I said I'm a sanguine in nature. But in reality, I'm not literally sanguine. Even though I have that in me, I'm more of melancholic. I'm more Sam. The melancholic in me is dominant. Why the sanguine in me is recessive. And I'll give you an example now. Many people don't know I dance. I'm a social person by nature. I do dance a lot. I love dancing. People will see, oh, this guy is more like a moderate person. He has this Christian attitude in me. Yes, I love my God. I'm a faith person. But I do have that social nature in me. But people don't see it. It's only when you see me on the stage dancing, you'll be like, oh, wow, I never saw this. I never saw this line of you. And I didn't see this part of you. I didn't. But I love music. Like I dance literally, not a great dancer, but trust me, you can't find me wanting when it comes to dancing. But people will think I'm just good for the stage to preach the word of God or to give those that I see like more of like a leadership person that has this suit and tie aroma. That is true. But that part of me is what people see most times. But I have that part of me which is a sanguine nature. Like I'm going to be vulnerable to you, right? So when Trump lost the election and Joe Biden was announced, I had to upload the video. We were like, oh, wow. People were like screaming, you dance this great like this? That was just too much. I'm sure another one again. My wife is 100% introvert. When I mean phlegmatic, 100%. But she also have the sanguine part of her, right? Because she's a great dancer. You will never on earth believe that she can dance. She can lift her body. But she is this kind of person that you can't see them dancing in public, but in their clothes shelf, you will be blown. But after that setting, you will never see them again in that way. So every human being has a dominant part of them and a recessive part of them. But the 4th temperament is in them. Sometimes again, I bring in my choleric temperament because a lot of people see me like an entrepreneur. So like I'm very engaged, So when I need to get work done, that part of me comes out. And also have that phlegmatic part of me again, that I can go back to my chef without coming out. You will never know because people see me in different colors. It depends on what I want to shoot to you. And the typical way of knowing this is through Instagram, on social media. People only post what they want to see, but you don't see the other part of them. That's what it is. So I might end this thing right now, and then tomorrow, go right here now, I'll be a different shape entirely. I might be in a different mood. And those who see me in that environment will be like, oh, wow, Wow. And that's it. But every human being has those four temperaments. One is dominant, one is recessive, and then the other two depends on when the environment makes itself available.
This is so fundamental, especially when it comes to you mastering yourself. You know, if it's very beneficial if you know that, you know what, I think I'm a phlegmatic person. I am, like, when you're in the leadership, you could be like, okay, I'm a choleric person, and if you're this lively person, you could be a sanguine person. And I think it's also beneficial to be able to like identify it in others. So when you see this person, you'll be like, okay, maybe this person is a sanguine, but you know yourself that you're a whatever, sanguine, choleric,